Hi everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Star Ruler 2. I am Sir Tristan, and in the last episode, we created our race, the Tristanians. We colonized our first few planets. Here's our home planet here, of Terratil 1. It's now a level 2 planet. We created a level 1 planet here to export chemicals, which is right down here. And now our planet is faithfully building universities to generate research for us. And we're well on our way to being a gigantic empire. So let's go ahead and unpause it. Now, what is the next thing we need to do? Well, we need to continue to expand, continue to explore. We have our slipstream ship here. And we're maxed out on our FTL energy, so let's go ahead and do a slipstream tear. I think I want to continue, again, exploring down the galaxy spiral here, the one that I'm going to be in control of. I want to see what kind of resources are available to me. So, we'll open up a tear. In the last episode, I explained a bunch of different ways, different mechanics for the game. There's still a lot to go over, things like diplomacy, research, and creating your own ship designs. But I think it works better if I just organically explain them as I need them, instead of trying to front-load all that information. Looks like we have another level 1 planet here. It's going to give us electronics. This is money pressure, so any planet that I export electronics to will actually generate extra income, which is going to be very good. Now I already have a level 1 and a level 2 planet here. Let's take a look. I need an additional level 1 resource to level up my home planet to level 3. Plus an additional new kind of food, so it can't be meat, it can't be grain. So I'll need another kind. And then a tier 2 research. Now just like I have to level up a tier 1 planet to export a tier 1 resource, I have to get a planet to level 2 in order to export the level 2 resources. So there's going to be a lot of management of these resources. And remember this section in the upper right corner, it's going to go a long way to helping that. And I believe that there's a tab up here, Planets. And this will outline each system, basically. This is Terratil, my home system. And you can change the sorting at the bottom to show you, how much income is coming from each planet, how much production each planet is bringing in, the requirements for each planet to level up, how much pressure they're building or supplying, and how many surface tiles they have available as well. And there's another way to sort this as well. I'm not too sure, but you can sort it by individual system. Like right now, Curie 2 is showing up here, and it should really be in its own system. I'm not sure exactly how to do that. I may have to tweak an option somewhere. But this screen will also help me send resources around to different areas. Okay, let's continue to explore. Can I open a slipstream? No, it seems like it's too far. So what I'll do, I think I'll just queue up a few additional actions and just have this slipstream ship just kind of explore without FTL on its own. So let's talk about diplomacy for a little while. I have, as you can see, remember, as my budget cycle resets, any additional money that I have every $3.5 thousand gets spent and converted into one influence point right now. And influence is spent in the diplomacy screen. So let's go ahead and look at that, because there is something I want to buy. I'm at 5 out of 4 points. So actually, let me go back just a second. The reason why I can go over, it looks like here I could have a maximum of 4. And I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that I can only have a maximum of 4 if I generate through pressure influence. However, because I am mainly producing influence through my budgetary overspending, I can actually, this number can go as high as I need it to be. But 4 is the cap for now if I just export resources to generate influence on its own. So I have 5 to spend, and there is something that I want to buy. So let's just go over the diplomacy screen. At the top you have, obviously, me, the amount of influence that I have, my average army strength, how many planets I have, and my points. And points are just a accumulation of everything that you have. All of these things here: influence, army strength, planets, money, everything. Other alien races, as I discover them, will show up along the top as well. In this same section, once the Galactic Senate is created, or once additional races are discovered and a planetary or an intergalactic Senate is created, we can start enacting reforms, we can start putting up things to vote, we can start influencing how the galaxy is going to evolve. And this is how you do it. Available diplomatic actions, this yellow section here. These are the cards that I started with, and each one of them does a different thing. I can send a gift to someone. These are showing up as question marks because I don't know who they are yet. Once I know them, however, this will show up as a specific race. I could gift one of my cards to someone. I can use leverage against them, and again, we don't know who they are, but you can use leverage against them. And this number down here, weight, is important. Whenever a vote is called for something, so let's say I want to peacefully annex a planet, saying, oh hey, this actually belongs to me. I put it up to a vote. And you play these cards to give weight to yes or no. And any race can actually put things up for a vote. And I wish I had one going so you could actually demonstrate this in real time. And I probably will do that when it happens, so I won't go into too much right now. But you can spend these during a vote to increase either pass like a law or pass an annex of a planet, or you can spend these cards to set weight against it and get it denied. The pending is a cycle. These are cards that you can buy with your influence. So as you can see, this will cost 4 to buy. This will cost 4. Call out costs, I believe, nothing. And that's how you purchase them. This selection cycles every 13 seconds. So I will unpause it. Oops. And as you can see it ticking down, when it reaches 0, the card on the far left will disappear, everything will shift over, and a new one will appear on the right. So let's let that happen just to demonstrate. And there you go. So now we've got a new one, Sabotage, and Host Galactic Senate has disappeared. So, let's see. I have 5 influence. Let's see what Protect System does. Costs 35% of my influence gain to keep this up. Lasts for 5 minutes. Citing critical humanitarian reasons, we convince the Galactic Senate to declare the planets in our system to be protected and prevent any empire from attempting to conquer them by force. So, if I figure out that a race wants to come and attack me, I can play this to prevent planets that I own in a specific system from losing loyalty. And even though they can still attack and try to take planets, and remember, the way that you lose planets is by losing loyalty. If I go to my home planet, let's go there, you'll see loyalty, which builds up over time, and with population. The higher the loyalty, so you see loyalty indicates how dedicated your subjects on this planet are. Sieging a planet will gradually reduce the loyalty until it hits 0, after which it will be captured by the sieging empire. The more loyal a planet, the more influence it takes to annex. So again, if I wanted to peacefully annex a planet, annexing another race's homeworld is going to be extremely costly, extremely difficult to do. Probably actually cost more than I could ever generate. Down at the bottom you have active propositions, active treaties, and active effects. So if someone puts up like a peace treaty or a forced peace, they would appear down here, and the time limit of them would appear down here as well. So the general kind of cycle for this diplomatic thing is buy cards, enact reforms, or enact, forced peace deals, spend cards to affect, votes one way or another, and then deal with the consequences. So it's kind of a race to buy these cards. None of these really seem like they're all that great now that I look at them. There was one when I first loaded up the video, it looks like it's gone now, that I wanted to buy. Energy Clash, which do I own one of those? No. So let's see. If there's one thing, if there's one thing the general population can always use more of, it's energy. Energy runs households, businesses, and cities, and releasing a significant part of our energy strategic energy reserve can swing some opinions in our favor. So I can purchase this for 3, and if I have energy, I can spend it for energy. Usually, these cost influence to spend. So see, this costs 4 influence. So not only is it 3 to buy, it's 4 to play. But energy clash, it looks like I'll actually get 4 of these if I buy them. Energy clash will give me 2 weight for 200 energy. So it's a different way to kind of influence a vote using energy instead of influence. Ancient knowledge. So anyway, there's a bunch of these. I'm not going to read them all now. But that's the influence system. And since I've got a decent amount of influence now, I think I'll actually switch this to research. That way we can generate some research automatically. And remember, my home system, what's a civilian trader? My home system is generating 2 research per second because we have 2 universities finished. Well, looks like we have 3 actually done now. You can see cities are being built. Cities will automatically be built per population. I believe it is 1 per population. 1 city per billion population. How they fit 1 billion people into a city, I don't actually know. But I guess these are maybe 1 giant city connected. Some kind of huge urban sprawl, 2 gigantic cities next to each other. And then the factory, I believe every planet will generate 1 factory, I think, which is producing some of the labor that I'm creating. Let's take a look actually at some of our other planets. I don't know if they all... No, it looks like they all don't generate a... They don't all generate a factory automatically. I'm not sure actually what's generating this. You may just start with 1 on your home planet. You can actually build buildings of your own. And they all do a ton of things. Storage for FTL, for energy, planetary defenses and things. Research complex. So this, I believe, let's see. Yeah, so here's a factory right here. I can actually build, I think, most of these buildings at some point in the game. However, they cost a lot. If you look over here, they cost a lot to... Okay, the pop-up's getting in the way. If you look at the money symbol in the middle here, it costs a lot to build and to maintain. But if I supply pressure to a planet, they will just build them automatically. So I can kind of use pressure to build things that I want to build without spending actual money and upkeep on them. And in a way, the civilian population will pay the cost and the upkeep. Orbitals don't work this way. I have to build orbitals if I want to. I can use shipyards to, build ships in space. They'll cost a little bit less, 20% cheaper for anything that I build in the shipyard. Probably will build at least several of these. Supply depots, outposts you can build in areas that you don't really control, but you want to see, you want to see the vision basically of that system. Defense platform obviously makes sense. You want to build defense platforms in like border systems that might come in under attack. I'll probably build several in the Curie system, and then your ships, like I was saying. Actually, now that we're actually looking at the screen, let's build a few ships. So I have an asteroid here and another asteroid here. So I need to build at least 1, maybe 2 mining ships to mine out this asteroid. So we build 2. So as you see, it's going to cost 45 each, which is deducted immediately from this cost up here in the upper left. And then my next budget cycle will be reduced by 38 per ship. So this 726k will actually be reduced by the cost of those ships once they're done building. So if I unpause, they're built in order, as you can see. Let's speed it up a little. They're built in order, and remember the amount of labor that they cost. These cost 4.6, and I'm generating 4 labor per minute. So we'll obviously take a little bit over 1 minute, which you can see down here, 1 minute and 9 seconds. So the math all lines up, makes sense. So the first miner is done. You can see it right here. Oh, nope, that's not it. Here. Tiny little thing. We'll give it an order to come over here and automatically mine the asteroid. Now what ore does for you... Okay, looks like we can't actually mouse over the ore. But ore supplies, well, it's a whole separate, I'm trying to find out where it's listed, and we may just have to skip over it for now until I figure out where it's listed. But you require ore for building certain certain things, basically. And you may only get to see how much ore you have. I'm sure it's listed somewhere. Just not sure exactly where it is. Another thing we can build, this is a little different type of asteroid. You just right click on the asteroid you want to build. You can build a spice mining base for 40 labor or a construction materials mining base. What this will do is, once you have a mining base, and I'll go ahead and construct the materials mining base. Once you have it, it will, for as long as there's like a modifier, I think what was this called again? Nope. Select the planet. Yes, a construction materials mining base. For 6 minutes, anytime you're building something, for 6 minutes, and it's not like 6 minutes real time, it's 6 minutes of building something, you'll get a bonus to labor generation. So for a short amount of time, basically, as you're harvesting these resources, you will gain a benefit to the speed at which you're building. So let's take a look here. Looks like our ship has continued to explore. Let's just keep going. There's really no reason to not explore all the way, I think. So I think we need to continue to expand. I think I'll probably cover research once I have. Oh well, I actually do have enough. That's fine. I'll go over that in a little bit here. For now, let's continue to populate some additional planets. I don't want to just populate planets for no reason. I don't want to colonize for no reason. I have no need for this water right now, so there's no need to pick them up. Remember that a level 0 planet, or level 1 planet, level 0 planet, will cost you 80k. So there's no reason to just colonize every single planet out there, unless you just want to prevent a planet from being colonized by an enemy. But you don't want to do that necessarily. You want to focus. You want to aim for specific types of generation, specific types of resources. So, for example, let's take a look at these. These are some tier 2 resources. Remember that I need one tier 2 resource to level up tier 1, my home planet, to level 3. So let's look at these level 2. Thorium generates energy, adds 7 energy pressure, which is a ton of pressure. Right now, my home planet can support, well, it can support quite a bit, 12 more than I have. So I can support that 7 pressure. Supercarbons adds 12 labor pressure. This is probably what I'm going to go after. I need at least one planet right now that can, if I want to build something, build it extremely fast. So if I need the defenses, I can. Jewelry, it actually creates 2 kinds of pressure, 5 money and 2 influence pressure. So I think the supercarbons are the ones that I want to go after. The whole planet is volcanic. I think I'll get some kind of penalty to that when I do attempt to colonize there, but it's okay. It's not gonna be too hurtful. So, because I'm going to need a level 1 resource to level this up to level 2, just like I did with my home planet, I want to find a good level 1 resource first that I don't need on my home planet that I can send here. So, we have electronics, which will just provide money pressure. And honestly, money is just a fantastic thing to export. It will always go to my galactic bank, basically. So stockpiling, I won't stockpile money basically on this planet. It will just go to my global. So this is actually a really good one. So I think what we'll do, we want to not automatically colonize. We want to pick our home planet since it's got such a surplus of population. We'll come down and we will colonize tier 1, and we'll unpause and let that run. In order for a level 1 planet to export its, or in order for a planet to export its level 1 resource, it needs 1 food and 1 water, and we happen to have both of them right here, which works really well. So I will also, I think what I'll do is just right click. If I don't have a planet selected, I can just right click and say colonize, and it will automatically, it's going to fly them over. It will automatically choose the best colony, or the best planet to send members to be a colony. So we'll do the same here as well. Now, as you can see, the game knows I'm going to be colonizing these systems, so it's automatically populated my can export line. Oh, it actually says partially colonized here. It'll create a new line once they're fully colonized. But I can go ahead, select the water, and set it up. Queue export of water to build tree 1, and I can queue the export of grain to build tree 1. So as soon as these 3 are colonized, it will automatically upgrade this planet to level 1. So we can speed that up. As you can see, it looks like they're all coming from our home planet anyway. there we go. And as you can see, required for level 1, build tree needs 1 food, 1 water. I've already queued them up. So as soon as the planets... Uh-oh. Well, unfortunately, the remnant fleet, I think I was calling these reverence, or something like that earlier, which was a mistake. Looks like actually I'm being attacked. I did not have the foresight to think about the fact that they might have remnants here that might want to keep the system on lockdown. So I'm actually going to have to build some ships to take it out. So gone over the over to the ship tab. I'm on my home planet, which is good. Oh, I see. Looks like now that I've switched over generation to my surplus generation, now that it's on research, I've actually lost that 4. So maybe that's not a cap. I thought that was perhaps a cap, but it doesn't look like it is. It might just be... No, it's not the generation rate. Oh, optimal storage. Okay, so available points is the first number, and then optimal storage would be the second one, probably. I'm not sure what optimal means. I'm assuming that once I go over that number, the amount that I generate, I get diminishing returns on. That'd be my guess, but... Anyway, I just saw that and I wanted to mention that. Oh, here you go. Here's our ore, right here. Generic building material mined from asteroids and used for construction in various ways. So some things that I build as I upgrade them during research will require ore as well. I believe that these are the really big things. I was looking on the forums earlier, the Steam forums, just trying to learn a bit about this game. It turns out you can build like ring worlds, like Halo-style ring worlds around your stars. You can build things like planetary thrusters, which can actually move one planet, I believe, from one system to another. I don't know if you can use the planets to like run them into other planets and use them as weapons, but I'm pretty sure I read that you can actually move a planet from one system to another. I'm not sure what benefit that gets you exactly, other than unless you wanted all like your labor-intensive planets to be in one system, so you have like one system that just builds everything. I'm not exactly sure what that will be used for. So if you remember from the last video, I have to actually pick a leadership, basically, a ship that will lead the fleet. I have 1 heavy carrier already, but it's not quite strong enough to take out the Reverend fleet. I keep saying Remnant fleet. Where are they? Right here. Remnant. I need to remember that word. So, let me go ahead and get another heavy carrier. And it's going to take 10 whole minutes to build. Well, that's very unfortunate. I need a lot more labor generation on this ship, or on this planet, which is unfortunate. That's going to cost 317k right now. So you see, it took my total that I have right now for the next 48 seconds down to 508. And if you look at this battleship, it's in yellow. And if I unqueue the heavy carrier, it'll go back. This is because I don't have enough to build this right now. It costs 651. And I don't have that much. So if you see you mouse over the yellow, I can't afford this on my current budget. And I'll borrow 143k, which is how much I would need to make up from 508 to 651. I will borrow that from the next budget cycle. However, it will cost not quite double, maybe 50% more. So it will actually cost me more from the next budget to build this now. So if I really need something, I can borrow against my next budgetary cycle. But my next budgetary cycle will actually suffer for it. I actually really like that mechanic. It gives you a lot of flexibility, but it's a big trade-off. Anyway, I don't need a battleship right now. What I do need are a lot of support ships for this heavy carrier. So I'm just going to kind of build a large number of them. Let's see, let's actually undo that last one. There we go. So I'm running out of money for this cycle. I want to make sure that I get as many ships as I can building now. There we go. And so as you can see, I can't afford anything. I can't afford the ones in red. Even if I took all the money from my next cycle and added it to this one, I couldn't afford it. So if I unpause, you'll notice, let's speed up time a little bit. You'll notice that this heavy carrier is getting built, but the support ships are being built at the same time underneath it. I just went over into a new budgetary cycle as well. So it's always a good idea to start your main ship for the fleet, but also start support ships as well, because they will be built underneath it. Alright, unfortunately I just have to let that finish. So let's see what's happening to my colonies. Looks like they're still going. The remnants seem to have left them alone. Seem to be leaving them alone for now. But I definitely don't. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like the colony. Looks like they're not going to try to send additional colonies. Oh, they are. Oh, they're so faithful. To say, even though we lost about 100,000 or 100 million colonists before, we're going to just go ahead and send some more. So yeah, it looks like the remnants just kind of gave up. So the last bit of colonies will... Uh-oh. Land. Please land. Go faster. Go faster, go faster, go faster. Okay, looks like they landed. And that's all the remnants care about. They don't care about the fact that I'm actually on the planet, which is fine. Okay, so as you can see now, just like before, our level 0 planet is going to turn into a level 1 after a bit of time and some population. What is this? Unused resource. This asteroid is being mined by a planet. Capture the planet to capture this mine. So here it is. It says unused, but it should be. This is when I built the construction materials asteroid here on this asteroid, and it's giving this planet that built it a bonus. Adds 10 flat labor generation to the consuming planet while active. Only ticks down while the planet has active constructions. Oh, I see. I actually have to import it. Well, I definitely want to do that to build this fleet quickly. So let's export. Good. So now this should be 14. It is 14. And look at that. It jumped from, it was I think at about 8.5 minutes to 2 minutes. So look, labor just plays a gigantic part in how fast you can build things. This will be done actually pretty soon. And I think I'll send both of my fleets down to try and destroy the remnants. Because I don't want them to just be sitting there. Any ship that I send through that area, might get killed. So let's see. I think what I will do, how much will it cost to slipstream back home? Way more than I have. Okay. I'm gonna have to figure out how to raise this cap, this FTL cap. That's okay, that's fine. We'll just go nice and slow, and I'll just continue to explore. I think this is probably the end of my spiral. And as far as I can tell, there's no other way to get to me except for Curie. So this is going to be where a lot of my defenses show up, I think. Any kind of defensive resources I can find, I'm going to send right there. Alright, so let's try to get a bit of combat into this episode. So let's speed up time a little bit. Oh, let's see. Planets over pressure capacity and unused resources. So it's telling me that down here in build tree, I'm actually generating 5 pressure capacity because, it's actually blockaded as well. Blockaded. Some of the civilian trade ships carrying this planet's imports were shot down. As a result, the planet produces 1 less of a random empire resource for each stack of blockaded. So I'm going to have to destroy the remnants to allow myself to export correctly. Building an energy generator uses up 1 energy. I'm not sure where my energy pressure is coming from here. Right here. The grain planet, build tree 2, has a... Nope, this one. And this one? It is this one, isn't it? Let's look. Geothermal vents. This planet's resource gives a bonus +1 energy pressure. I'm not sure why I can't see that this thing is exporting that pressure. I know that let's just take a quick moment. This is a quick side note here. Exotic atmosphere on Curie 2. So if I go to Curie 2, which is here. Yeah. It's showing exotic atmosphere. But for some reason it's not showing up here. I'm not sure why. This may be what's blockaded, I guess. We'll see. We'll see. What was I talking about when I came here? I don't actually remember. So it looks like the energy is being blockaded. Okay, the blockade is over for some reason. Okay, that's alright. Once I clear this blockade. Alright, so as you can see, the other fleet is finished. It's got a strength of 2k. So I believe these two fleets together will be able to take out the remnant fleet down here. So we'll just fly them down. Speed up time. And again, I'm not gonna, oh yeah, look at that. Now I'm generating energy, which is great. That means I'm gonna be able to spin some of these eventually. Let's see what's just happened here. Fleets in combat. Jump to it. Are there revenants in the system as well? Revenants. See, I seem to just love that word. Okay. There we go. So my two fleets have arrived. We'll just send both fleets to attack. You can see them kind of continuing. They've got their momentum that's kind of carrying them down this way. Actually, don't get too far ahead. Slow down a little. Yeah, they need to turn to slow down. Yeah, look at those remnants just destroying my civilian freighters. Don't appreciate that. Looks like I think we were moving too fast. We're just going to coast directly into them. All those beam ships just kind of tearing into each other. Combat happens fast. I can slow it down just to kind of, you can kind of see what's happening, but it's just kind of a giant mess, you know. So I've got two fleets kind of attacking them from the sides. My power is staying much higher than theirs, which is good. Come on, guys, moving closer. You guys moving closer. Alright, cool. Just got a few ships left. They're running out of bullets, they're running out of health, running out of power. I just kind of swarm them like a pincer attack. I think that's it, other than just a few stragglers. Beam ships are continuing to wipe out the rest. There we go. This planet is clear. Now, I did lose a number of my supports, but my main ships seem to be mostly secure, and they're kind of reforming right now. Excellent. Let's take a look. Do I have remnants anywhere else as well? I actually do. I could actually fly them over here to engage these. But there you go. You've seen a little bit of combat. I think I'm going to go ahead and call the episode here. I think in the next episode I'll talk a bit about research and kind of what that looks like. It's pretty complicated. Well, not complicated necessarily, but it'd be kind of hard to parse all that information. So I'll talk about that at length, and we'll probably try to turn. Let's see, what was it? What was this planet here? Our supercarbons, Dare 1, into a level 2 planet with the help of these electronics from Biltree. Biltree? I don't know. Pronounce it however you want to, really. Anyway, yeah, thanks guys so much for joining me for the second episode. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and see you next time.